So here's a weird one. Elenco LR-100. Or I'm sorry, not LR-100, LR-1. I've seen a couple different styles of these. I think I've even seen some that are painted a different color. I'm not going to take the top cover off here. It's actually flipped upside down. It's kind of difficult. It's not impossible, but you know, I'd have to take it apart, stop the video, edit it all back together. I don't feel like doing that. I want to say I read somewhere that these were actually kit amplifiers. You could buy these as a kit, Heath kit style, and put them together. Wouldn't surprise me. Then again, if it was made in somebody's house or factory or garage, basement, whatever, that wouldn't surprise me either. Got some really interesting stuff in here. I don't know 100% if this guy's working. I got it and I never really went through it, and it's basically just been sitting in my basement, you know, as another part of my collection. I've always been kind of curious as to how these things were supposed to be set up, and you know, where you were supposed to put them in your station, that kind of thing. I imagine most folks would, you know, maybe turn them around this way so they can get to the power switch over here, and where the jacks are in the back. But then you've got your tune and your load and your power and your RF indicator lights right here on the front. I kind of like to see those when I'm, you know, using the amplifier, make sure that it's working. But you can't do that with these. So I just think the way that the controls on this thing are oriented is just kind of interesting. And this light is actually burned out, so when I do key it up, you're not going to see this light up, but well, that's just how it is. I actually think the light might be fine. I actually think the diode inside that senses it is bad. Runs a, I think it's got a 12A, 12AU AT, somewhere in that family, 7 keying tube. And it's got a solid, or I'm sorry, not solid state, Jesus. It's got a tube rectifier right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 GK6 tubes for the amplification. Right now I'm only getting about 20 watts out of this thing. So maybe the tubes are bad or one of them's bad. I did run them through my tester, and my tester shows them as being good, but I don't necessarily have the best tester in the world. One of the things that I thought was really crazy about this amp right here, if I can get the camera to focus, is if you see this big coil right here, this is actually made out of a little storage bottle, you know, like something you might keep parts in or something like that. And it looks all somebody did was they wrapped wire around it, used it as a coil form, and then drilled a hole in the bottom of it, and then ran a screw up through the bottom to hold the case in. I'm sorry, hold the top of the bottle onto the chassis. So if I actually wiggle this thing, from what I remember, I think it might actually be glued, but I did wiggle it once. I think I was able to get it out, or something. Like, it will come out, but then this top here just stays. And I'm not going to mess with it because it is actually turned on. Two big old Spriggs, I think these are Spriggs, 80 microfarad, 450 volts, each of them, they're the same. There's your, I always love this about these old amplifiers, your fuses are soldered in directly. All this nice real estate back here, they didn't think to put a fuse holder. Oh well. So I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. We're all tuned up and ready to go here. Doesn't have sideband delay, so I'll just do it on AM. Hopefully the camera will focus while we're doing it. Like I said, I'm not getting a lot of power out of this thing. 20 watts. That's about it. So it needs a little work. Maybe we'll get there someday. I don't know. It's kind of on the back burner for now because I've got other things I'd like to get running before this. So if anybody has any information on these, I'd appreciate you passing it along. I know there are some mentions of these online, but you know, if you have a good schematic, that'd be great. I don't think I've been able to find one yet. Not a whole lot to it, so you know, I can probably sit down and figure it out all on my own. The transformer on this thing is massive. I mean, it really puts a lot of weight to it. It's at least 25 pounds, or the whole thing together is all 20. Feels like about 25 pounds, something like that. I might be wrong. It might be a little less than that. But yeah, that's it. Elenco, or is it Elenco or is it Elenco? Something like that. LR-1. I think LR-1 stands for Long Ranger 1, but I don't know how much of a Long Ranger 20 watts is. Mine has none of the controls labeled, and I've seen some of them that actually do. Same thing on the back. None of those input output things are labeled. None of the lamps are labeled. On off is self-explanatory, so I don't think you need to label that, but you know, what the hell. But that's it. Thanks for watching.